What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing well. Today I've got for you episode 3 in the Stabra series. You guys have absolutely loved the first 2 episodes, and I'm just going to give you a quick little rundown of what's happened so far, especially what happened at the end of last episode before we move in to today's. As always, if you don't know what I'm talking about and you've not seen episode 1 or episode 2, or if you want a proper refresh yourself, then the link to the playlist where you can see each episode in this entire series is down below in the description, top line, or in the pinned comment if you're on YouTube. So to briefly summarize what's happened so far, this woman's mother-in-law stabbed her, not with a knife or anything, but with a little sort of food holder on purpose in what could have been seen as relatively innocuous if it wasn't for the fact that it wasn't an accident, as this mother-in-law kept saying, and was actually quite violent, causing damage. Now that all then exploded into a crazy few days and weeks involving OP, her now ex-husband, and of course his mum, as well as their child and others involved in that family. Attempted kidnappings, break-ins, it all just went crazy. Now at the end of last episode, OP's ex, or soon-to-be ex, had gone missing. And I said that, yeah, he'd been terrible so far, just frankly awful, and had done some heinous things, but I wanted him to be safe, at the very least, so he can face the justice that he deserves. So anyway, without further ado, let's get into episode 3 and see what happened with OP's ex. Sit back, relax, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and turn notifications on so you do not miss episode 4. Let's get into this one. Stabra showed up at the house. The most important part of this update is that my ex is safe. They found him. He used a debit card tied to Stabra's account. She called the police and texted me after it happened. The police notified me as well that he is in custody and will not be released until his court date. He just crossed state lines, and according to Stabra's text, she, quote, told him to use the debit card because no one would know. Then when he did, she called the police and told them her plan and helped them to get him. That's a summarized long text. Stabra claims she's helping us because she, quote, can't believe he's doing this to her grandchild. I do believe she's concerned for my son and honestly feel awful, but at the same time, my lawyer said absolutely no contact between them, and I'm gonna trust him. This happened late last night. Yesterday, I went back to the house for what will be my last time. I took the advice here and let the officer go in first. The house was clear and everything was in good condition. There was a lot of trash and the kitchen was filthy, but otherwise it was okay. Mum entirely cleared out my son's room and spent the evening rebuilding my aunt's guest room to look as close to my son's room as possible. My son was super excited to have the rest of his toys and books back. Everything was untouched and perfect in his room, so after wiping it all down, he got some of his normalcy back. My room was wrecked though. I'd taken my clothes before, aside from what was in the washer. Those were nowhere to be found, but it's not a big deal. Everything was a mess in our room. Trash was everywhere, but nothing was broken or damaged. We took photos of everything. Mum was loading the kitchen when Stabra showed up. The officer asked her to please wait outside and have me come out. She had a Walmart bag for me. Inside was my makeup. She had this beaten puppy look and said that she had, quote, saved it from the house when everything happened because she didn't want it to get ruined when she knew how much I loved it all. I took the bag and thanked her to be civil, and she just kind of hung around, asking if we'd heard from my ex. This was before he was found. Asking if her grandson was inside, asking if she could order us dinner, etc. The officer only let her stay for a few minutes and then asked her to leave, which she did without complaints. After going home, I looked at the makeup and it was clearly used. My MAC World lipstick had a hair attached to it. I tossed the lot. Stabra called the police shortly after we left and had a little meltdown about her son going missing and how we were both crazy and hell-bent on hurting each other and that they need to get her grandson because we were dangerous, according to my cousin-in-law, who is apparently staying with Stabra now to help her because Stabra's family believes she is a danger to herself. A few hours later, she called the police about my ex's location, then messaged me. My thoughts? I think she knew where my ex was the whole time. I don't believe her story for a second. She knew where he was, and when he used the card, she called because she's trying to manipulate everyone into removing any blame from her. Hence her bringing my makeup back and playing nice. I don't know where my ex's head is. My lawyer said to completely ignore her unless police contact me, so that's what I'm going to do. I'll update after the court date because this sub is keeping me sane, or if something major happens. Thank you guys so much. Okay, well that is very good news, I suppose. At least your ex is safe. But yeah, I do wonder what you guys think about OP's mother-in-law. I'm inclined to agree with OP. I feel like she's been so conniving and horrible this entire time. I don't think she's suddenly like, okay, yeah, I'm really going to help and I'm going to catch my son and I'm going to get the police on him. I just don't think that she would do that without there being some form of ulterior motive. I mean, who knows? Is she really doing that to make herself look good? Is she now caring more about seeing her grandchild than her own son? Anything could be true here. We just don't really know with this woman. Now, how about this for a follow-up post? Either Stabra is following me or has flying monkeys. This one coming 4 days after the previous. I don't have an update on my ex. I've washed my hands of it and decided to completely be uninvolved in his legal situation, per the advice of my doctors. He won't be out of jail until his hearing, so I have no concerns with him anymore. Yesterday, my mum offered to keep our little one for the evening and let me go out and blow off steam. A group of friends and I went out to a movie and dinner. The group consisted of myself, a couple who I've known forever, a single female friend, and a male friend who is engaged but his fiancée couldn't make it. This is all important, by the way. My ex knows all of them. At dinner, the couple sat on one side of the booth, female friend in a chair on the outside, a male friend on the other half of the booth with me. When the waiter came to clear the table, the male friend and I decided to share dessert. Our female friend joked that his fiancée would be jealous, so he wrapped his arm around my shoulders and said something along the lines of, well, she'll just have to get over it. Everyone laughed. I turned red because he was loud, and we shared the food and left. My cousin-in-law messaged me about my mother-in-law being in a tizzy. Apparently, I'd gone on a triple date with my ex's very best friend. No, this guy has been my friend. He got along with my ex, but they weren't close, and that I was all over him. We shared dessert and smooshed. My mother-in-law messaged my friend's fiancé, who told her to pee off because she's known me as long as he has, and I wouldn't do that to her. So, just a lovely little tidbit of drama. Can this be over yet? It's exhausting. Also, both the friend and his fiancé had visited us at the old house and knew the crazy rules. My friend had to stay outside in 100-degree heat all day to hang out because guys couldn't come inside. Wow, I mean, your mother-in-law gets weirder and weirder, and yep, I'm pretty sure she was following you. Otherwise, how could she possibly have known about this? Oh my goodness me, look at this for a title of the next post. Stabra has been arrested. I mean, this was going to happen, but my word, 6 days later, Stabra has been arrested. And, OP says, it has no relation to me. She was pulled over at a DUI checkpoint over the weekend and couldn't pass the sobriety tests. Her friend's preteen child was in the back seat. My stepfather-in-law is bailing her out today if he can get the money together, as she's cut him off of the joint accounts. He asked me to help because she only had the girl with her because the mum was too intoxicated at the party to pick her up from a friend's sleepover because the kid wasn't planned to come home until the next day. I told him no. It's not my problem and I'm not enabling her. She's driven drunk before, despite hating anyone else drinking at all. And my stepfather-in-law claims this is her second time getting caught. I had no clue about the first time. She's possibly losing her license. So, small update. Stabra drives tipsy a lot, so it was a matter of time. It just feels like a victory because it happened now. I've got no clue who told her about the restaurant, but honestly, it is what it is. I'm happy karma is coming around. Goodness me, there's honestly nothing I hate more than drunk drivers. And that excuse of, you know, your stepfather-in-law saying that Stabra only did it because she was helping somebody else out and someone's mum was too intoxicated. No, if you are drunk or tipsy or you're over the limit, or even in my opinion have had anything to drink, you shouldn't drive. There's no excuse. It's also never that expensive to just call a taxi. It's really not that hard. Maybe you wouldn't want to put a child in a taxi. Think about it before, all right? Don't get drunk at a party. You can't just say, oh, I was helping out. No, you were breaking the law. Also, I'm still pretty confident that she must have followed you to the restaurant because there's no way based on your description of the people that were there, that one of those people would have told her. I don't even see the relation there between her and any of your friends that were there. She must have followed you, and that is so weird. Now for the next post, Stabra is out. Goodness me, just a few days after the previous as well. Stabra is out. I'm assuming my stepfather-in-law paid it off and has contacted my lawyer via email. I wish I could transcribe the whole thing because holy heck. Shortened and rephrased version here because it was 5 paragraphs of rambling and has too much identifying info and many areas that made no sense. So here we go. Lawyer, I am Stabra, OP's mother-in-law. I understand she has sent a cease and desist letter through your office and will not be contacting her, but I would like you to relay a message for me if at all possible and within legal bounds. I was informed that my husband contacted OP about my legal run-in and would like to inform her it will not happen again. He was not acting on my behalf and I never asked him to press her for money. I apologise for his behaviour. Also, we will not be pursuing legally mandated visitation with my grandson at this time. Many threats were thrown around while I was angry about the situation and I revoke them now. I do, however, feel it is best for my grandson to know both his mother and father's family, and as such, I am asking to be considered in any future custody arrangements with my son. Should my son be cleared of his case on a date coming up soon, he does not plan to make OP's life harder than it needs to be and wishes for this to all place favourably for all involved and fully benefit my grandson. My son would like to revoke his claim that he wants little contact with his son and would like to offer a 50-50 split, with me having little involvement but not fully banished from his life, as he will need childcare during my son's working hours, and daycare may not be suitable for a child going through divorce. Let us know if OP accepts the offer and tell her I'm open to keeping my grandson anytime. Thanks, Stabra. So she didn't go through her lawyer like the cease and desist asked her to. She also tried to speak for my soon-to-be ex, whose lawyer claims he doesn't want to see his son as of this morning. So whatever. Keep talking, Stabra. I also find it ridiculous that Stabra is saying, well, I need to be in my grandson's life because who knows, a child going through divorce, it may not be the best thing for him to be in daycare. Well, how about it may not be the best thing for him to be under your care as well? Somebody that has given him bruises and welts before. Yeah, just think about that. Then, 2 weeks later, we got this update on Stabra and OP's ex. My ex's court date happened. My mother, aunt, Stabra and I were all required to appear as witnesses. We all told the same story, the truth, that my ex forced his way in. Stabra claimed she couldn't see if he did or did not, but based upon the state of the house when she entered to get her grandson's things, she knew he did something stupid, but hoped it wasn't too bad and they'd just be able to leave without the cops. My mum rolled her eyes and gave me the look when she said that. The prosecutor asked Stabra why she decided to just start gathering her grandson's things and not see if everyone was okay, to which she responded that she didn't want to be involved and was just panicking because she saw some things knocked over and heard yelling. She just wanted to get my son and get out. She also basically admitted, under oath, that she planned on grabbing my son and leaving, with or without my ex. My ex's lawyer tried to paint me as the aggressor because I shoved him away from the room where my mum had my son, but the judge didn't buy it and asked him what I should have done, given my ex was kicking the door and had knocked over my aunt, hurting her. Yeah, exactly. In general, the lawyer did a bad job. He tried to point fingers at literally everyone else, even though my ex's own statements admit it was his fault. My ex said very little and apologised to us all. Nothing was resolved at the court day, and there's another one set for several months from now, but my ex's lawyer did express that he was going to try and get the date moved up. The general idea is that he could face 1 to 5 years right now, likely on the lower end, or even potentially walk free. Stabra approached us as we were leaving the court date. I was simmering because I really wanted a definitive verdict, unrealistic I know, and her statements annoyed me. She walked up to my mum, bypassing me but also blocking me from getting into the car, and started playing 20 questions about my son. Mum didn't take the bait, told her to mind her own family and stay the heck out of ours, then hopped in my passenger seat. I got my aunt into the back seat and walked around. Stabra asked me a dumb question about whose car I'm driving. I am officially my aunt's tenant, so I have stability, and wanted to erase all ties to my ex, so I got a new-to-me used car for cheap from a friend. I ignored her and walked around to the front to get in. She walked quickly around and stood in front of the door, so I couldn't open it, and asked again whose car I'm driving. I said it's mine. She asked how, and I told her to leave me alone. She didn't move, so my mum hopped out and waved down an officer. She saw the cop and left. She later emailed my lawyer asking for a copy of my current expenses so she can have it on record for my ex for child support reasons. My lawyer declined, but said she asked for my car price, rent, bills, estimated money spent on food, clothes, school and work for my little one and myself, and a couple of other things. We filed it in the stack of weird we have as evidence that she's bonkers. And since then, it's been radio silence. Not a peep. Hopefully it stays that way. Sorry if this is vague and disjointed. I'll post a more detailed account once all of this is over. But my sister said I should at least update you guys so you know we're all okay. The little one's doing really well. He's going to a Montessori school set up per his therapist's recommendation, and it's really helping. He brings me little trinkets and crafts, and he's really loving it all. My aunt also got him a mini trampoline for the house, so he's pretty spoiled again already. Thank you guys for listening. Okay, well that is great news and a lovely ending to this post. But again, that's just the thing that strikes me is what, once again, is your mother-in-law trying to achieve by all of this? Like, why is she asking who bought your car or where you've got the money from to buy a car? Like, is she trying to potentially say to the judge that the OP cannot afford things? Maybe there's another man in the background that she's secretly with who is paying for things like a car, expenses in general, and that is a way of getting her son out of paying child support, or the whole thing might be fake, or I don't really understand it. I just don't get it. What is she trying to achieve? If you've got any idea, let me know in the comments down below. Anyway, guys, that is going to do it for episode 3 in the Stabra series. Really hope you enjoyed it. Sadly, there's only one more episode to come, which will be coming tomorrow. But it's been a great story so far, and I, for one, am very excited to see how it ends. Hopefully, there's a good resolution. Hopefully, for OP and her family, her mum, her aunt, her son, all seem like lovely people. The other side of the family, shocking, but yeah, we will see tomorrow. Don't miss it. Subscribe, turn notifications on, and I'll catch you there.